work to shift, to make that paradigm shift, okay, from seeing parents as part of the problem to part of the solution. There's some work that you may have to do on how you see, how you view families. This is a part where we call core beliefs part of leadership. And any of you who have taken any leadership courses, you know that you lead from your core beliefs. That's your foundation for your leadership. That's how you sort of steer the course. It's from those core beliefs. So I've talked to principals who are really, really passionate about family engagement. And I asked them, could you define the core beliefs that are really the foundation of your family engagement work? And these are the four core beliefs that they told me. And we also included them in Bake Sale. They told me you have to really believe that all your families have dreams for their children. Right? Now, you notice we're not saying that all families are engaged in their kids, because some families we know, because what's going on in their lives, can't do it. We do have our families that are going through a lot of changes. They've gone through a lot of changes. But, you know, I've interviewed some of those parents. And when I ask them, what are your hopes and dreams for your children? They always say to me, you know, I really want them to do better than I'm doing. I mean, that's the minimum of what sometimes they'll go on and say, I want my child to go to college. You know, and these are parents. Now, don't forget, I was the deputy superintendent for family and community engagement. So all of the real problem parents, just like kids, you know, we have this tendency to send kids to the principal's office when they're acting out. Parents who were acting out got sent to me at central office. So I was talking to parents who had restraining orders taken out on them by the schools, you know, who had been called out for DSS cases. So I was really talking to parents, you know, some of those parents that we call hard to reach or don't care. And I would start the conversation by always saying to them, you know, Mrs. Johnson, I don't even want to talk about the problem that you came in for. I want to talk to you about your hopes and dreams for your child. Every single one of those parents would say, you know, I really want my child to do better than I'm doing. So you have to come in with the belief that all your families have hopes and dreams for their child, okay? It's just like you have to come in with the belief that all of your children that are put before you can learn. You're not going to say, well, those, you know, and actually one of the articles that I wrote, the reviewer said, you know, this would make more sense if she said mostly all parents. You know, and I said, well, do we say mostly all kids? We don't do that, okay? So yes, some of our families are struggling. Some of our families are going to be maybe difficult for us to reach, but they are reachable, especially if we have the core belief that they are reachable. Okay, and there's a quote here from Sarah Lawrence Lightfoot that you can read later on. Now, how does this get to 3? Okay, let's go back. Oops. Help, help, help. Let's go back. I don't know if it jumped to timings. I must have hit it. Okay. All right, so now we can go forward. Let's see if is it jumping? No? All right, 2. All right. The second core belief. You have to believe that your parents have the capacity to grow so that you are able to, if you show them in a way that's respectful and meaningful and user-friendly and fun, your families can learn new skills to help support their child's learning. And I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I have parents begging me to tell you that they want the information. They say to me, Miss, could you please, when you work with principals, tell them that we want the information for how to support our children's learning, but we're scared and intimidated by them. You know, we can't always go to the school. We work 2 jobs, you know, and we're nervous. But if they would just tell us and show us that they care about us, it would really help. We're really scared. They scare us. There was a study done by a gentleman named Gerardo Lopez, which was a stunning study. I use it in my classroom. My students always talk about the power of it, where he looked at Latino students that were children of migrant families. And when he talked to the educators, they said, oh, those parents don't care about their kids. Their kids are doing really well in school. Their kids are self-directed. That's why they're doing well. We never see their parents, never. We send invitations, we call home, they say they're coming, they don't show up. They don't care. He went to their homes. He asked the parents, are you involved in your children's education? The parents said, yes, we are. Well, we'll show you how. And on the weekends, the parents were taking their children with them to the fields to pick the fruit and vegetables we eat every day. And while they were out there, their parents would lean over and say, this is what you will be doing if you don't succeed in school. Is that family involvement? Yes. You betcha it is, but the school had a very narrow definition. Come do the volunteering, come do the bake sales, come to parent-teacher night. If you don't do those things, then you're not involved. So you got to be very, very careful. I'm sure many of you who are involved in the project about technology, a lot of people are having their eyes open because they see that parents really do want to be engaged. Okay, but we have to think about ways to connect them. And they want to be engaged in ways that are linked to learning. They don't want to just come and have all the compliance information thrown at them. You want your parents to perceive themselves as equal partners. You want to make them feel like equal partners. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to take over your job. Everybody has a different role. Now, I'm about to get myself into trouble right now because I'm going to make an analogy to something that happened on Monday night. I am from New England. And you got thumped, right? But let me use a football analogy here, okay? If you have a football team that thinks, say the offense thinks they're all that, right? We are the team. The defense, we do more work than they do. They are not equal partners with us. We get all the attention. Is that team going to the Super Bowl? No. Conversely, if you have a team that says the defense is really what makes all the difference, okay? Those pretty boys like Brady and the Manning boys and your quarterback for the Jets, okay? They think they get all the attention. We really do all the work. Is that team going to the Super Bowl? No. The team has to play as one. That's why Miami's not winning. Basketball, we switched to basketball. You can tell I'm a sports fan, right? Okay? Not always are all the best people on the team, but if they play as a team, what happens? They win. You can't leave your parents on the bench, ladies and gentlemen. If you work with them as a team and you see them, you treat them like they're equal partners, we need you. Then you're going to find you're going to go to the Super Bowl of student achievement. Okay? Don't leave your parents on the bench. Last but not least, you've got to be the catalyst for this work. Because like I told you, your parents are intimidated. They're scared in many cases, especially new immigrant families. You have to be the one that reaches out and touches these families. Some of my principals that have gotten charged up about this, what they do is in the summer or even during the school year, they have meet the principal night at a local Denny's or one of the local restaurants. I know every borough here has got a restaurant, the different ethnic groups go to, right? You should go there. Have a principal night there. Parents will come just to see who this is because they're not going to believe that a school principal would do this. A lot of my principals do this, or they have coffees. They'll have a parent sponsor a coffee at their home, invite other families, and they'll do it around the different neighborhoods. Some of my principals used to worry about safety. They don't anymore because a lot of their parents have them come to places and times when they know things will be fine. One of my principals in Miami goes to the different faith-based institutions and talks about how he needs parents to be engaged. All of these principals have reported to me that they have seen a marked increase in family engagement. Why? Because when you go to families and you meet them where they're at and they see that you respect them, they will come to you. I'm going to leave you with this. There's a little saying in this country, actually all over the world, about the 3 most important things you need to remember when you're buying a home. Location, location, location. Okay? Here's what I'm going to leave you with today. If you want to build strong partnerships with your families, it's all about relationship, relationship, relationship. You have to build relationships with your families, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the key to partnership. If you want your initiatives to blossom and grow, you've got to reach out and touch your families and meet your families and smile at your families and let them see that you love their children. Okay? Questions? Any questions?